People just don't get it. Like, I've been against people, big and small, corporations and giants and systemic policies and racism, and won. They all regret coming against me. All of them. Now Rebecca is going to be added to that list of regretful people.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Southern Mutton. It is kind of a gloomy day here down in Texas, but hopefully wherever you are at in this world, you are enjoying your day. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, hopefully today is the day you decide to do so, and you can click that subscribe button below. You can also like and share this video. Today we are talking about Ashley Guillard again. I just did a video on her regarding her quote-unquote readings. She claims that she is a psychic and that she has a gift from God as a psychic, and she uses this God-given gift to solve unsolved crimes by reading tarot cards. When it came to the case of the 4 students that were murdered in Idaho, Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan, all students at the University of Idaho, Ashley Guillard jumped on this, got her cards out, and boy, she did her readings, and she made it very clear on TikTok who she felt was responsible for these murders. And this again was before law enforcement had made any arrests, before they had arrested Brian Koberger for the murders of the 4 students. Ashley Guillard, flat out, straight from the gates, says Rebecca Schofield, a professor at the University of Idaho, hired Jack DeCour, one of the victims' ex-boyfriends, to commit these murders, but not for the reasons that we would have thought. Jack being able to retaliate against whatever he might be upset with Kaylee, who was his ex-girlfriend. No, she claims that this professor and Kaylee had a romantic relationship. And when she felt that she was going to be outed and it might cost her her career, she decided to find somebody who just happened to be Jack DeCour, and she hired him to commit these murders. She stands by it steadfast, y'all. She will not budge. She has not budged. Everybody has said, you're going to get sued, you're going to get sued, you're going to get sued, and she wasn't having it. In fact, this is what she said to all the comments and her TikTok videos, saying, girl, like, you're going to be sued. Here's her thoughts on that.
Y'all be like, you're going to get sued. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried about Rebecca Schofield suing me because she will be using her resources to fight for murder cases. Of you talking about defamation lawsuits that don't apply to me. Long story short, the plaintiff, Rebecca Schofield, would have to provide convincing evidence of a defamatory statement's falsity in order to prove defamation. Rebecca Schofield does not have substantial evidence that she did not kill the 4 University of Idaho students. 1, because they don't have a murderer. 2, she hasn't been investigated and substantially investigated and cleared by the Moscow Police Department or the FBI. She would need both of those things, a different murderer, to be investigated thoroughly by Moscow Police Department or the FBI, and to get a statement from them saying that she isn't the killer, which they're not going to do that because they don't know who the killer is yet. Well, they haven't made it public yet. She does not have proof that what I'm saying is false. She does not have a case right now. She will never have the case because she's going to be caught.
So clearly Ashley did not think that she would be sued, and she felt like there was not a case against her, specifically regarding defamation. Okay, Ashley, clearly, I don't want to say she's misunderstanding the law fully, but let me just remind you why Rebecca Schofield had a reason to sue Ashley Guillard for defamation. Here's just a few reminders of what Ashley had said in her TikTok videos.
These are the two people who partnered to kill the 4 University of Idaho college students. Rebecca Schofield, associate professor and chair of the history department, and Jack DeCour, Kaylee's ex. Their murder was ordered by Rebecca Schofield. Rebecca Schofield, the one who murdered the 4 Idaho college students. Rebecca Schofield would have been something like a sugar mama, but she's still gonna lose her case. She's gonna go to jail while her trial is pending. The final verdict will reveal that she's guilty and that she wasn't the person that everybody thought she was. The killer, Rebecca Schofield. And by killer, I mean the killer of the 4 Idaho college students. Rebecca Schofield's reading and realized she ordered the murder of the 2, but that turned into 4 college students at the University of Idaho. To protect her legacy and her name. That's the reason why she did this. This is the reason why she felt like she needed to kill Kaylee, to silence her. Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour are plotting another crime as we speak. People have been asking me to provide evidence for the statements and allegations that Rebecca Schofield ordered, planned, initiated, and executed the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. Although she did not do it with her own hands, like I said, she hired, with a promise to pay in different ways, Jack DeCour. Now, people have been asking me for evidence, and I think that is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard. A psychic investigator, and Google it if you don't know what that is, job is to lead, to guide, to a higher understanding, to give clarity, and it is the law enforcement's job to assess the information that the psychic investigator gave them. They have the infrastructure, they have the resources to gather and the legal basis to request, subpoena, whatever evidence. It seems to be an impossible task set before me. They're asking me to provide evidence when I don't have the infrastructure to seek the evidence, even if I know that it's there. However, I now have a legal basis to do so and can use that as a means to gather those resources. However, to be asking me for evidence, that's just ludicrous to me. That's just like asking anybody else in the tip line providing the tips that they requested for evidence of their tip. However, with God, with Christ, all things are possible. So we shall see where this goes. I already know. So you shall see.
So it's very clear that Ashley Giard not said, she never said, in my opinion, or allegedly, or my cards told me that this was it and I could be wrong. No, Rebecca Schofield is responsible for these murders. She calls her killer Rebecca like over and over. Guys, none of this has ever been proven. Both Jack DeCour and Rebecca Schofield were completely, their alibis checked out and they have been cleared by Moscow Police Department. But Ashley does not care. So she claims she doesn't have to prove anything. She's a spiritual witness, and that everybody's just supposed to take her word for it. Now, at this time, when she's saying this, Brian Koberger had not been arrested for these murders. And when people are saying to her, you're going to get sued, she says, no, no, no. Well, she was sent a cease and desist letter from Rebecca Schofield and her team of attorneys. And here's what she had to say in regards to that.
Rebecca Schofield's attorney sent me a demand letter demanding that I comply to Professor Schofield's request that I remove all of my videos regarding the University of Idaho murders, regarding her being the killer. First, it says that I was sent a letter on November 28th, which I did not receive. They should have sent it a more professional way if they wanted me to receive it, instead of just emailing it to me. Maybe it went to spam. Anyway, saying that I made false statements. I don't have to listen to this demand letter because it's claiming that I'm making false statements, and I'm not making false statements. What I'm saying is true. If they really think I'm making false statements, they will need to file actual legal documents in a federal court or in the courts in my county asking me to remove it. A judge will then determine if I need to remove it. That way, an investigation can be had determining the truth or falsity of these statements. About to put this demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my ass with it. I haven't been served yet, but I'm actually gleaming with excitement. I am going to immediately start planning because I cannot wait to present my ideas in court regarding Rebecca Schofield and her role in the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. How she planned it, how it was her initial idea, how she hijacked the court, how she enticed him and energized him and got him ready to kill his own best friend. Since they have the inability to understand it, I'm glad it can be me. Also, have y'all noticed that I haven't been sued, so that's why some demand letters you take serious, especially if you really did do something wrong. But the ones that are used as a scare tactic.
So after, Ashley, as she liked to imply, wiped her ass with this cease and desist, she goes on to taunt and say she's not stopping. She's not stopping, and that she even goes to say, look, they're not going to sue me.
So I spoke too soon. This is the case request for filing for a lawsuit against me from Rebecca Schofield. I'm not stopping, so let's just start there. But 2, this is giving us information about what her alleged alibi is for the night of the murder. And now I have information about what she's saying her alibi is. I'm gonna dig deep into that too. Also, why does she need 3 lawyers for me? 3 lawyers. Why does she need such a big defense team if she's so innocent? Why does she need all of that for me? You can screenshot this, but this is her complaint and those are her lawyers. You can Google that document. You can Google Schofield versus Gillard or Ashley Gillard, Moscow, Idaho, and it'll pull up. Why does she need 3 lawyers for little O / big O, for real, me?
Ashley was served on December 21st, 2022. And according to Ashley, she was stoked at this point because now she can prove to the courts, and keep in mind, there had not been an arrest yet. Brian Koberger had not been arrested. They had not stated a suspect at this time even. And so she's basically saying, I have a case because they don't even have a suspect. They haven't arrested anybody in these crimes. And sure enough, later that did happen. But she's saying that she's going to go to court and she is going to prove and she's going to state everything and do everything. And she's saying she cannot wait until she can respond with her answer.
So I got served today with a lawsuit officially. Now I can provide my answer. And this is where the tables turn. I think this is how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm going to win. Oh my God. Killer Rebecca is suing me.
Is my name too. Whenever we go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Da, 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 da.
So Ashley Gillard was so stoked that she was, going to be able to argue her case and prove everybody that she's right and that her cards are right. And she did this on her own. She solved this case, y'all. She's the hero in this case, and she couldn't wait to go to court. And now the tables are going to turn. It is her turn to say what, in fact, happened in the early hours of November 13th of 2022. So when she was served, when Ashley Gillard was served, she was being sued by Rebecca Schofield. She was served on December 21st of 2022. She had 21 days from the day to respond with an answer in this case. And she was stoked, right? Well, she never responded. Ashley Gillard ignored this lawsuit and did not respond, did not provide an answer in this case. Here are some of the details in this lawsuit.
This is the complaint and demand for jury trial of Rebecca Schofield versus Ashley Gillard. I'll be going through this pretty quickly as I'll be hitting key points, but feel free to pause and read in full if you would like. The introduction lays out the tragic murders of the 4 University of Idaho students and how the defendant, Ashley Gillard, a purported internet sleuth, decided to use the community's pain for her online self-promotion. Under factual allegations, there will be 30 separate points. They start off with the murders that occurred in the early morning hours of November 13th of 2022 and how they will be referring to the victims only by their initials here forward as KG, MM, XK, and EC. The next points regarding Professor Schofield include that she was not even in or near Moscow, Idaho during the time these murders occurred. She was in Portland, Oregon with her husband and some friends. It also states that none of the 4 students who were murdered ever took a class from Professor Schofield, along with the fact that Professor Schofield also never met Ashley Giard. The points regarding Ashley Giard include that she promotes herself as an internet sleuth that solves high-profile unsolved murders by consulting tarot cards. It also goes on to state that her first post regarding the Idaho murders was on or about November 22nd of 2022, where Giard began posting TikTok videos about the November murders at the University of Idaho. Yet it was on or about November 24th of 2022 that Ashley Giard posted 6 TikTok videos falsely stating that Professor Schofield was responsible for the 4 students' deaths. She also included a photo of Professor Schofield from the University of Idaho. On November 25th of 2022, Ashley Giard added another 5 videos to TikTok stating that Professor Schofield planned and ordered these murders by hiring Jack Decor to commit the murders of the 4 Idaho students. She also claimed that the professor had a romantic relationship with one of the victims. On November 28th of 2022, Ashley Giard continues her post stating the same things, that Professor Schofield was responsible for the murders of the 4 Idaho students. She actually even made a post where she wrote, "I don't care what y'all say." Rebecca was the one to initiate the plan and hired Jack Decor. On November 29th, 2022, Rebecca Schofield, through her counsel, sent Ashley Giard a cease and desist letter. However, Ashley Giard absolutely refused to stop making these posts regarding Professor Schofield and her involvement in the murders of the 4 Idaho students. On December 1st, she made the post where she states that Rebecca Schofield is going to prison for the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students, whether you like it or not. Along with, "I'm not worried about Rebecca Schofield suing me because she will be using her resources to fight 4 murder cases." She continues on with many more defamatory statements and videos. Other points under factual allegations included comments that were left on Ashley Giard's TikTok videos regarding Rebecca Schofield being the murderer of the 4 Idaho students. Many people stated these were false statements and that she was at risk of being sued. Of course, Ashley Giard did not care. Rebecca Schofield's counsel stated that equally concerning, other TikTok users commented that they believed Giard's false statements that Professor Schofield ordered the murders, and that they were wondering when Rebecca Schofield and Jack Decor were going to be held accountable for these murders. On December 8th of 2022, Rebecca Schofield and her counsel sent Ashley Giard a second cease and desist letter, which she absolutely ignored and mocked on TikTok videos. The remainder of these points include that Giard, even after receiving the cease and desist letters, went on to post more than 20 new TikTok videos falsely accusing Professor Schofield and Jack Decor of committing the murders of the 4 Idaho students. Goes on to say, again, that Professor Schofield has never met Giard. She has no idea why she was set in her crosshairs and why she's falsely accusing her of ordering the tragic murders and being involved with one of the victims. Perhaps the most concerning point is this last point that states Giard's false TikToks have damaged Professor Schofield's reputation. They have caused her significant emotional distress. She fears for her life and for the lives of her family members. She has incurred costs, including costs to install a security system and security cameras at her residence. She fears that Giard's false statements may motivate someone to cause harm to her or her family members. First claim for relief is regarding defamation in this case, and it goes on to reiterate all the defamatory statements that Ashley Giard said in regards to Professor Schofield and implicating her in the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students, stating that she had made these claims over 40 times. Now, this was up until she was served, and after she was served the lawsuit, she continued to make even more defamatory statements. It goes on to state that this was definitely defamation because Giard she knew what she was saying was false because she had no knowledge about anything happening in Moscow in or around November 13th of 2022. Also stating that Giard's false TikToks defamed Professor Schofield because they were viewed millions of times. Ashley Giard has more than 100,000 followers, and some of her TikToks defaming Professor Schofield have 2.5 million likes, indicating that the person has viewed the video and liked it. They are also claiming defamation because of how Ashley Giard's false statements and TikTok videos have negatively impacted Professor Schofield's life, both professionally and personally, and how she has suffered extreme emotional distress from Ashley Giard's actions. Second claim for relief is defamation, and this is regarding the relationship that Ashley Giard claims Rebecca Schofield had with one of the murdered students. As before, it goes on to state that this is defamation because Ashley Giard had no knowledge of a relationship, and she knew that what she was stating was false. Also stating that her TikTok videos had been viewed over millions of times, and because of the number of subscribers that she had, caused even more damage to Rebecca Schofield. Ashley Giard's false claims that Professor Schofield had a romantic relationship with one of the murdered students caused Professor Schofield a lot of emotional distress, but it also subjected her to a lot of online ridicule and threats. Therefore, this is defamation in regards to Rebecca Schofield having a romantic relationship with one of the students. Professor Schofield is asking that all attorney's fees are recovered and paid for by the defendant, along with compensatory and punitive damages to be paid in an amount that would be proved at a trial. And she is requesting a 12-person jury. The defendant, Ashley Giard, was to file responsive pleadings by January 17th of 2023. Ashley Giard never filed a response in this matter. Therefore, on January 19th, 2023, Rebecca Schofield's counsel files a motion for clerk's entry of default in this case. If the clerk does file an entry of default, the plaintiff will seek a default judgment in this case. On January 27th of 2023, there was, in fact, a clerk's entry of default. Ashley Giard was served. She admitted that she received this lawsuit, and she failed to plead or otherwise defend within the time allotted to do so. Therefore, Ashley Giard is in default because she never provided an answer in this case. Now, this is not the end all in this case. This is not a judgment. A judge has not made a ruling on a default judgment. This was just a clerk's entry of default stating that, in fact, the defendant, Ashley Giard, appears to be in default. As of today, this is the last filing in the case, and that was dated January 27th of 2023. Again, this is not a judgment in this case. I do think we should expect to see a new filing or filings soon regarding this clerk's entry of default. We shall see if the judge is going to grant a default judgment. It is possible that defendant Ashley Giard has been trying to answer to this case, try to respond. If that's the case, the judge may not consider this in default, and we'll see where that goes. Again, we do not have a judgment on this case. I expect to see something soon, and I will keep you guys updated on any new filings that are made in this case.
Now, Ashley Giard stopped posting anything on TikTok. It's unclear to me if they did stop her from being able to post. She posted last. There were some posts on the 1st or 2nd of January. Now, TikTok had stopped her account to where she could not post for a week. That ended on January 2nd, so she was able to post again. And then I don't know if something happened and her account was view only since then, or if she has chosen to not post, but she did post something around January 7th. It's nothing of too much importance. She has not posted anything regarding Rebecca Schofield or Jack Decor since the beginning of January. Again, I don't know if her account is currently set on view only, but what gets me, y'all, is all of her videos with all of these dangerous and ridiculous claims that Rebecca Schofield and Jack Decor are responsible for the murders of the 4 Idaho students are still up. You can still access them all. So people that are new to this case, that's why I feel kind of bad even making this video, because it's bringing attention to this again where somebody might not have known about it. But there's so much danger presented, that there's so much potential for danger to be presented in social media, that there needs to be something done to where somebody takes a stand and says it has to take more than just a long, exhausting lawsuit to have the law say you must take this off of your page. There has to be something more. And until this lawsuit comes to an end fully, why is her page still up with all of these damning videos? I don't understand. I for the life of me, I do not understand. And I said in my last video, you know, if you see something like this on, you know, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you know, whatever it may be, TikTok, and somebody is being accused of something so heinous, or if they're being doxxed, you know, those are times for it to be, for this page to be reported. I mean, that's a severe criminal situation. Now, if you don't like the person, you disagree with their views, or you don't like what they say, move on. Just scroll right on past. You don't have to watch them. You don't have to agree or disagree. That is what makes this world go round. We all have our own opinions, and we have the right to have that. But you do not have the right to list somebody's name as a murderer that has never even been questioned or thought of as a suspect by law enforcement. We need to do better on that. I'll keep you posted as to what happens from this lawsuit. If there are any new documents filed, if anything else is filed on this, if there's another lawsuit that might be filed against her, if they might choose to file it in Harris County, which is where she resides and where she was residing when she made these videos. Something new might change. There might be some other occurrences. I think she's just going to continue to ignore it. And be one of those that maybe just files bankruptcy or whatnot. But more needs to be done in this. What she did is criminal, and she needs to be held accountable. And I don't think she's going to stop there. I'll see you guys next time. I do have another problematic person on social media that I want to discuss. Some of the stuff is just truly unbelievable to me, guys. But I'll see you next time. I hope you have a great day. And again, I will keep you updated of any changing factors that happen in this case. See you next time. Thanks, y'all.
Anyway, long story short, I'm not posting no more free information regarding this case online anymore. You got people on here asking me information and using my information, then turn around and saying I'm crazy or leading protests against me and allowing me to be badgered by your peers and your coworkers, but then you have others sending me messages on my email or my website asking me questions about when did this person meet this person or how did this person talk to this person. Y'all not getting nothing else from me. No more. Nothing for free.